What is good, YouTube? It's your boy Flames back at it again. Another Bible reading video. Hey, about to be reading Judges chapter 8. Without further ado, let's get right to it, man. Gideon defeats Zebah and Zalmunna. So in the last chapter, they brought the heads of the princes. They pretty much, I forget what the people, Medan, yeah, the people of Medan, bro, that got packed up by Gideon and him commanding everybody. So yeah, chapter 8, let's get started. Then the men of Ephraim said to him, "What is this that you have done to us? Not to call us when you went to fight against Midian." And they accused him fiercely. Then he said to them, "What have I done now in comparison with you? Is it not the gleaning of the grapes of Ephraim better than the great harvest of Abiezer? God has given into your hands the princes of Medan, Oreb, and Zeeb. What I have been able to do in comparison with you." Then their anger against him subsided when he said this. And Gideon came to the Jordan and crossed over, and he and the 300 men who were with him, exhausted yet pursuing. So he said to the men of Succoth, "Please give loaves of bread to the people who follow me, for they are exhausted, and I am pursuing after Zebah and Zalmunna, the kings of Medan." And the officials of Succoth said, "Are the hands of Zebah and Zalmunna already in your hand, that we should give bread to your army?" So Gideon said, "Well then, when the Lord has given Zebah and Zalmunna into my hand, I will flail your flesh with the thorns of the wilderness with briars." Jeez, dude. It's kind of intense. And from there he went up to Penuel, and spoke to them in the same way. And the men of Penuel answered him as the men of Succoth had answered. And he said to the men of Penuel, "When I come again in peace, I will break down this tower." Now Zebah and Zalmunna were, so basically they just didn't help him. Crazy. He's like, "Alright, I remember that. It's cool." Now Zebah and Zalmunna were in Karkor with their army, about 15,000 men. All who were left of all the army of the people of the east, for there had fallen 120,000 men who drew the sword. And Gideon went up by the way of the tent dwellers east of Nobah and Jogbelah and attacked the army, for the army felt secure. And Zebah and Zalmunna fled, and he pursued them and captured the two kings of Medan, Zebah and Zalmunna, and he threw all the army into a panic. Wow, so army of 120,000 men versus 300. He's like, "Oh yeah, they're panicking." What? 300 men? Dreaded not. Well, that's crazy. Gideon the son of Joash returned from the battle by the ascent of Heres. And he captured a young man in Succoth and questioned him, and he wrote down for him the officials and the elders of Succoth, 77 men. And he came to the men of Succoth and said, "Behold Zebah and Zalmunna, about whom you taunted me, saying, Are the hands of Zebah and Zalmunna already in your hand, that we should give bread to your men who are exhausted?" And he took the elders of the city, and he took thorns of the wilderness. And he took thorns of the wilderness and bears with them, and taught the men of Succoth a lesson. Dang. It's literally, that's how it's written. Taught them a lesson. Nah, that's crazy, bro. And he broke down the tower of Penuel and killed the men of the city. Bro, he said, "Alright, you don't want to give me some bread? Alright, I'm gonna remember that." Took them out, bro. That's crazy. Then he said to Zebah and Zalmunna, "Where are the men whom you killed at Tabor?" They answered, "As you are, so are they. Every one of them resembled the son of a king." And he said, "They were my brothers, sons of my mother. As the Lord lives, if you had saved them alive, I would not kill you." So he said to Jether, his firstborn, "Rise and kill them." But the young man did not draw his sword, for he was afraid, because he was still a young man. Then Zebah and Zalmunna said, "Rise yourself and fall upon us, for as the man is, so is his strength." And Gideon arose and killed Zebah and Zalmunna, and he took the crescent ornaments that were on the necks of their camels. Gideon's ephod. And the men of Israel said to Gideon, "Rule over us, you and your son and your grandson also, for you have saved us from the hand of Midian." Gideon said to them, I will not rule over you, and my son will not rule over you, and the Lord will rule over you. Gideon said to them, let me make a request to you. Every one of you give me the earrings from his spoil, for they had golden earrings because they were Ishmaelites. And they answered, we will willingly give them. And they spread a cloak. Every man threw in it the earrings of his spoil. And the weight of the golden earrings that he requested was 1,700 shekels of gold, besides the crescent ornaments and the pendants and the purple garments worn by the kings of Midian, and besides the collars that were around the necks of their camels. So, I'm sure that's just a crap ton of money. I don't know what the conversion rate is. Um, Purple garments, purple was like the rarest like color. Like, bro, you did not like purple stuff was like not really a thing. Um, hold on. I'm gonna see how much 1,700 shekels of silver is. Okay, so it was like equivalent to around 1.2 million, um, roughly. I don't know how accurate that is, but that's what Google said. Okay. And Gideon made an ephod of it and put it in his city, in Ophrah. And all Israel fled after it there, and it became a snare to Gideon and his family. So Midian was subdued before the people of Israel, and they raised their heads no more. And the land had rest 40 years in the days of Gideon. So he made an ephod of it. What is an ephod? I'm sorry, guys. I just sacred apron-like garment worn by the high priest made of gold. So Israel whored after it. So maybe they idolized this, expensive garment that was made, for a high priest using these material. It was made out of $1 million worth of gold and purple and all this different stuff. But yeah, so they had rest in the days of Gideon, 40 years peace. Seems to be like a common theme. Like not every time it's 40 years, but kind of like around the time until 40 years, a new generation comes, and then just back and forth. The death of Gideon. Jerubbaal, the son of Joash, went and lived. So that's Gideon, and lived in his own house. Now Gideon had 70 sons. Jeez, his own offspring, for he had many wives, and his concubine who was in Shechem also bore him a son, and he called his name Elgamech. And Gideon the son of Joash died in a good age and was buried in the tomb of Joash his father, at Ophrah of the Abrazites. As soon as Gideon died, the people of Israel turned again and whored after the Baals and made Baal Berith their god. And the people of Israel did not remember the Lord their God, who had delivered them from the hand of all their enemies on every side. They did not show steadfast love to the family of Jerubbaal, that is Gideon, in return for all the good he had done to Israel. So, a similar thing. They go to worship this God or this deity that has done nothing for them. Jesus, God the Father, saves them every single time, bro. And as soon as that generation of people that experience that is gone, people that have heard these stories but haven't really experienced it for themselves, they just go back to doing evil, bro. But yeah, that's it for this chapter. I appreciate y'all for watching. Next video is going to be a long one. The next chapter is like pretty long, but I'm about to get right to it. I appreciate y'all for watching. I love y'all so much. And I hope y'all have a great rest of your day. God bless you. Peace.